ahead, Tzu Chi volunteers worldwide tend to family members of the passengers on the MH370 missing flight. We learn about the smart grid technology that improves energy efficiency and its multiple functions. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. In the early hours of March 8, flight MH370 carrying 239 people bound for Beijing disappeared after taking off from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where the whereabouts of the missing jet has yet to be confirmed. As we air the show, Tzu Chi volunteers have been mobilized to offer comfort and support to family members who have arrived in Kuala Lumpur.
I'm here at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia, which was voted as one of the best airports in the world. However, the disappearance of an outbound passenger flight has shocked this nation and the world. So far, there are over 40 Tzu Chi volunteers here at the hotel day and night to accompany the worried-stricken families. Since the evening of March 8th, Malaysia Airlines has arranged for some 40 family members to stay at the hotel inside the airport. Tzu Chi volunteers also arrived on site to offer comfort and support to these families as they wait eagerly for further news. Volunteers held several meetings to discuss their roles and how to best accompany the worried families. Meanwhile, Malaysia Airlines organized a team of psychiatrists to provide counseling to those in need. And 9 Tzu Chi volunteers also stayed at the hotel to lend a helping hand whenever needed. The Everly Hotel, situated nearby the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, is where some of the travellers' family members are currently staying. Through our footage, you can see media workers from all around the globe waiting for updates along with the worried families. Unable to put their minds at ease, family members can be seen in the hotel lobby even at night. Though worried for their son who is on the missing jet, the senior couple is glad to be surrounded by Tzu Chi volunteers.
Seeing how heartbroken they are, I also wanted to cry, but I held it back. The family members are glad to have someone to help them, and I'm glad to see that as well.
Mr. Zhou's sister decided to change her schedule last minute and boarded flight MH370.
We can only wait here anxiously for updates. There's nothing we can do now. We can't make any arrangements, and we can only hope for the best.
By offering comfort and support, Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers are soothing many anxious hearts. Volunteers also helped some 20 family members apply for expedited passports. In fact, Tzu Chi's work have been reported in major newspapers throughout Malaysia. While waiting for updates on the missing flight, Tzu Chi volunteers with years of experience in international relief work will continue to accompany family members in the hours and days ahead.
Following the mysterious disappearance of flight MH370, 15 Tzu Chi volunteers from Kuala Lumpur flew to Beijing a day later to meet up with 36 of their counterparts. Volunteers have since been on site to offer comfort and support to the family members of the missing passengers.
Listening to family members as they speak of their current situation has some of the Tzu Chi volunteers in tears. In China, 36 Beijing Tzu Chi volunteers arrived on the morning of March 9th to meet up with 15 of their counterparts from Kuala Lumpur, before dividing into 4 groups to care for the travellers' families now staying at 3 different hotels.
Some volunteers were at Metro Park Lidu, while others went to Jinling Hotel. Those at Jinling stayed till 4 in the morning and came back as the family members took a break. In Metro Park Lidu Hotel, we were there until this morning and only left when the next group of volunteers came to take over our shift.
With over 150 Chinese nationals on board the missing jet, Malaysia Airlines decided to set up a care unit in Beijing for the families of the missing. On Sunday morning, besides providing drinks, volunteers also assisted in handing out meal coupons.
Through interacting with these families over the last 24 hours, we found that many of them had heard of the Tzu Chi Foundation before. Malaysia Airlines was hoping we could provide comfort and support, so we mobilized as many volunteers as we could in the shortest time possible. We offered water and cleaned up the venue, while also distributing meal vouchers to the families.
Cultural and language differences between China and Malaysia have also caused further emotional distress for family members. However, volunteers have been on hand to offer emotional support and bridge the gap. As family members wait anxiously for updates on the missing flight and their loved ones, Tzu Chi volunteers will also be there, accompanying them 24 hours a day, offering encouragement and help whenever and wherever needed.
In Indonesia, to safeguard the health of seniors, TIMA members held another free clinic for senior patients that attended the previous free clinic. Knowing that many seniors tend to suffer from degenerative diseases, medical staff thoughtfully gave each of them a thorough examination. This is the scene at the Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter. Today, TIMA members are holding another free clinic for senior patients that attended the previous free clinic.
This time, the free clinic focuses on patients that suffer from degenerative diseases. Most of the patients suffer from genetic diseases. Those beyond their 40s are more likely to have degenerative diseases.
A degenerative disease is a disease in which the function of organs will increasingly deteriorate over time due to aging. Some of the diseases are arthritis, dementia, diabetes, deterioration of eyesight, and much more.
My left foot is weaker than my right. My left foot has been feeling a sort of numbness and tingling for the past 2 years. Right now, my uric acid level is under control.
We will give our patients a thorough examination, especially those with diabetes, high blood pressure, or high uric acid levels.
Other than working to improve their patients' health, TIMA doctors also passed on tips on how to prevent further problems.
We also gave our patients tips on how to take care of their health and how to adopt a healthy lifestyle. We hope to help them improve their physique and overall health.
With the health problem well taken care of, the patients all go home with a smile on their face. In the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers traveled to Bautista, Pangasinan to visit conjoined twins Jenny Lin and Jerry Lin. As the family can barely make ends meet, the cost of a separation surgery has been simply beyond their reach. Upon learning of their plight, however, Tzu Chi volunteers promised to help cover the cost of the surgery. Holding her daughters in hands, this is Ludi de Guzman, whose babies were born as conjoined twins. When the conjoined twins Jenny Lin and Jerry Lin were born, the news astonished many in their village, as the chance of having conjoined twins is only 1 in 200,000. As the family can hardly make ends meet, the twins have yet to receive the much-needed nutrition since birth.
We don't have the money to purchase milk for our children. Sometimes we even go to sleep on empty stomachs. I rather give them my share because they will cry if they don't eat. I really hope they can get a surgery soon because their current condition isn't good for their health.
As the family can barely make ends meet, the cost of an operation to separate the twins is simply beyond their reach. Thankfully, with the help of volunteers from the Tacloban City Fire Brigade, this family sees hope.
I was very worried when I saw the news about the conjoined twins, and Tzu Chi Foundation came into my mind. I know that the Buddhist NGO would be willing to reach out with a helping hand, and the organization has the experience and skill to help with situations like this.
With 2 cases of separating conjoined twins already under their belts, Tzu Chi volunteers hope doctors at the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital can give these 2 sisters a chance at a normal life.
I am very happy and thankful. Thank you for reaching out so my children can grow up like the other children. They can finally live their lives normally.
Currently, the twins will have to wait until they are 10 months old before they can undergo surgery. However, knowing that Tzu Chi is there to help, this family is finally looking ahead to a brighter future. 26-year-old Chen Tuanzhi, who suffers from a rare congenital deformity of her knee joint, recently traveled from Xiamen, China to Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital in Taiwan to prepare for her surgery on March 12. Next, let's take a look at what the medical team did to get ready for the upcoming surgery.
Here at Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital, 26-year-old Chen Tuanzhi enters a CT scanner to undergo major checkups, which will include a bone density measurement, angiograms, and x-rays to determine if her body is able to handle the surgery she has hoped for. Never before seen a patient like her, the honorary superintendent Chen Yinghe and the medical team from the Rehabilitation Medicine and Pediatrics Department search for similar medical cases and discuss the surgery possibilities.
We don't know if removing such a big segment will be a problem or not, but this medical case gives us a big boost. As 11 years after surgery, this patient's condition has stayed the same.
After surgery, although it won't correct Chen Tuanzhi's condition 100%, it will, however, be able to relieve some of the burden on her heart and body.
She uses 9 times more energy than the average person. If you examine her heartbeats, you will see that it's very high.
Upon conclusion of the evaluation, the medical team then explains the procedure to the patient and her family.
I estimate she will still have about a 30 or 40 degrees bend on the leg, but it should be okay. Of course, backwards.
It is because of the detailed analysis and care of the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital that Chen Tuanzhi and her family has decided to go ahead with the surgery here in Taiwan, as they look forward to the day when the young lady can stand on her own 2 feet.
More and more countries worldwide have begun to roll out what is known as smart grid technology. Smart grids not only improve energy efficiencies, but also support the integration of renewable energy sources. What exactly is a smart grid? We find out more in our next report.
China announced its plans to develop a national smart grid by 2020. The United States aims to install 18 million smart meters across 49 states. Meanwhile, Japan is accelerating its plans for the deployment of smart grid in 80% of the country's households within 5 years. What exactly is a smart grid?
There is no clear-cut definition of a smart grid.
Smart grid means something different for every country.
Well, it turns out that a smart grid is more of a concept, and depending on the needs of each country, different technologies will be deployed to make the electricity grid smarter.
The focus for the United States is to upgrade the nation's electricity distribution system, as the current system is outdated. China's focus is on developing a strong smart grid that can cover long distances with large capacity transmission. Europe's objective, on the other hand, is to increase renewable energy consumption to 20%, reduce carbon emissions by 20%, energy efficiency by 20%.
However, we will need continuous power generation. Once renewable energy is integrated into the smart grid, we will need to monitor it, because when renewable energy is offline, other power generation will be needed to fill in the gaps.
Fortunately, smart grid technologies can help manage the unpredictability of weather-dependent renewable resources to alleviate reliability and stability issues caused by power fluctuations. Electricity will no longer flow one way from the power station to the end user, but will be able to flow 2 ways or even be multi-directional.
Not only can smart grids interact with other distributed power sources, they also enable the integration of renewable energies such as wind turbines or solar panels into the distribution grid as well. In our research, we did studies on advanced distribution automation. We want to incorporate smart technology to make our distribution systems smarter, which will include integrated communications and eventually energy-saving technology. As natural disasters become more frequent in the future, we are also working on ways to strengthen the stability of the entire system.
As Taiwan's energy infrastructure is still developing compared to other countries, even with upgraded transmission systems, energy efficiency is limited. However, a smart grid's communication technology is able to track power usage in real time to inform end users and power companies on how much electricity is used.
Once a smart meter has been installed, it doesn't necessarily lead to energy efficiency, but rather it is to make the end user aware of his energy consumption and adjust his consumption habits accordingly.
The two-way and real-time communication enables power companies to, when needed, remind end users to manage their energy consumption, hence minimizing the need to build new power plants to accommodate peak loads.
The smart grid offers greater energy efficiency for households as it can effectively regulate and shift power supply during peak load periods.
After conducting research and development, plans are in place to establish a smart grid test site in Penghu, which will become the testbed for the development of smart grid technology in Taiwan.
The development of smart grid technologies is an important milestone for Taiwan. When local manufacturers roll it out to the global market, there will be a great achievement for us.
As Taiwan is actively seeking ways to develop smart grid technologies, not only will this offer a chance for consumers to save energy in the near future, it will certainly also open the door to many more opportunities for Taiwan's smart grid industry.
In Malaysia's Klang, women care recipient baby Muniandi, who thanks to Tzu Chi's assistance was able to put her children through school. To reciprocate Tzu Chi's kindness, Muniandi and her family have decided to invite more people to walk the Tzu Chi path.
Whenever Tzu Chi volunteers visit, baby Muniandi invariably showers them with a warm hospitality.
When I first came here, her daughter is still studying at school, and she made a living as a cleaning lady.
2008, Muniandi's husband passed away, and raising her three daughters on her own, 46-year-old baby Muniandi once felt helpless.
When they went to school, I wanted to work. When I came back home, I had to do household chores. If they made any trouble at school, I had to go to school too. Nobody was there to help me. I dealt with everything on my own.
Through her friend's introduction, Muniandi met the Tzu Chi volunteers who decided to help her and her family with financial aid. Thanks to Tzu Chi, Muniandi and her family are now back on their feet.
Without Tzu Chi's assistance, I couldn't have afforded to let my girls go to school. But because Tzu Chi offered a helping hand, I didn't have to worry about not being able to afford their tuition.
6 years on, thanks to the volunteers, Muniandi's eldest daughter is now in college, and her second daughter has finished senior high school. Inspired by Tzu Chi's support over the years, Muniandi's family has decided to reciprocate.
When I am on my way to school, I will pick up empty bottles on the road, and I also tell my friends that an empty bottle is worth 5 cents. Together, we can save up enough money to help the needy.
Meanwhile, Muniandi herself tries to recruit as many Tzu Chi members as possible in her workplace. However, in the beginning, it wasn't easy for her to canvass donations from her co-workers.
Of course, I was afraid because I didn't think they would trust me in the beginning. However, I wanted to reciprocate Tzu Chi's love as early as possible.
Thanks to Tzu Chi's help, Muniandi's family has found hope and are now continuing the cycle of love here in Malaysia.
Next, we meet Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital's Department of Nuclear Medicine Director Chen Qingyuan, who participates in the initiative to watch Master Cheng Yun's Wisdom at Dawn broadcast at the Beitun retreat each morning. Thanks to morning routine, Chen has gained valuable wisdom and a better understanding of the Buddhist NGO's work.
It's barely 5 in the morning, but Chen Qingyuan has already arrived at the Tzu Chi Beitun retreat office.
About 4:30, so I wake up around 4:20. Once you are used to it, it's fine.
At 10:05, the local retreat office is already filled with Tzu Chi volunteers looking to gain a bit of wisdom to start their day.
I think this type of group study session helps to improve your wisdom and helps keep one diligent.
Previously, Chen watched the Wisdom at Dawn broadcast at home. However, the home broadcast is edited and not live.
当然，在开示的时候，哪怕一个呼吸声
Watching the teachings here, we can hear if the master cough or take a deep breath. Those unedited moments makes us feel we are in the same room as her.
亲近的感觉啊。师父都
We constantly say how much we love the master, and if the master wakes up this early to guide her disciples, then our actions should reflect our love for her.
来展示。
As Chen leaves the retreat office and head towards the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital, the sun is just starting to rise. As the director of the Department of Nuclear Medicine, Chen is the first to arrive at the office each morning at 6:30.
I need to sign these documents now, otherwise I won't have time for them later if I'm doing checkups.
Chen lets no time go to waste.
I have time now, so I will look at some paperwork.
等一下还有志工早会要参加，对不对？
Yes, at 6:40 a.m., right about now. Time passes by so quickly. The master will talk about the latest news, and we can use this to understand what the latest Tzu Chi focus is. It actually really helps in our own work.
Even before Chen Qingyuan starts his workday, he has already learned and experienced much. He finds that his participation translates over to wisdom in his life and work.
It has always been a pleasure to participate in the volunteers' morning assembly.
To connect students in Lesotho with the outside world, last year Tzu Chi volunteers brought 100 second-hand computers donated by ASUS, a computer company in Taiwan, to 2 schools in the country. Recently, volunteers returned to the schools to check out on students' progress after using these computers.
Thank you, Taiwan.
Tzu Chi. ASUS.
Sing a song to express their thanks to Tzu Chi Foundation and ASUS, a computer company in Taiwan that donated second-hand computers to their school. These are the children of the Manyateng Intermediate School.
I used to have a problem teaching the longitude lines and latitude lines. Then the computers are going to help us a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. See you next time.
Yes,
Another beneficiary of these second-hand computers is students at the Kunra Snailman Primary School. With these computers, listening to songs, watching cartoons, and even reading books online is not a dream anymore. However, as the built-in speakers are not loud enough, teachers hope Tzu Chi can once again reach out with a helping hand.
Love to have more speakers so that the sound can be a bit louder, because the children sitting in front, so they are really struggling to hear what's going on. So we really need this. If we can get more speakers.
Is it maximized?
Thanks to second-hand computers from Taiwan, these children in Lesotho can finally gain a better understanding of the world around them. We go back to China at the end of the show to inspire members of the public to embrace Jingsi aphorisms. A 3-day music concert was held at the Suzhou Jingsi bookstore. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.